Ever wondered what goes on behind the scenes of making art? From sculptors to ceramicists, dancers to music, join us on Forms of Creation as we explore how artists bring their visions to life. Get ready to be inspired. Stay tuned for more creativity. Hey everyone, I'm Torian Smith and you're watching Forms of Creation. Today we're diving in the world of sculptures with the super talented Sierra Berry. But before we get into that, let's start off with a trip at the Lincoln Warehouse to meet Coda Bowen and see how they work ceramics and illustrations. Meet Coda, an artist whose creativity knows no bounds. Based in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Coda is a master of ceramics and illustration. Let's explore their world and uncover the inspiration behind their diverse creations.
So when I was little, I took a ceramics class and I had a wonderful teacher. I was really young in elementary school and I just immediately gravitated towards it. I loved making things with my hands and I just loved playing in dirt and feeling like dirty and making something beautiful out of it. It really captured me right away. So I'm so fortunate to be in such a beautiful space here. And so when I come in here, I get my dog settled and I do take a beat. I generally take a minute and just kind of soak it all in and then have my journal, have my planner and plan out my day. With ceramics, I'm often working on the same project for multiple days at a time, so there is a lot of them. So maybe on the second or third day, I'm finishing a piece. I'm working with stoneware, so it takes a long time to dry.
Coda's artistic endeavors are shaped by the rich tapestry of their southern upbringing, drawing inspiration from landscapes of Wisconsin, North Carolina, and Florida. Coda's creation reflects a harmonic blend of Southern charm and Midwest grit.
I draw a lot of inspiration from my family. I come from a family of builders and other artists, and I'm very fortunate to have their support. I grew up half here in the Midwest and half in the South, and I draw a lot of inspiration from my time in the South and the warm weather. A lot of the ocean, a lot of kelp, a lot of bright colors, lots of mermaids these days.
At Tooth and Nail Milwaukee Studio, Coda not only crafts their masterpieces, but also shares their expertise through workshops. These workshops not only teach artists techniques, but also foster a scene of community and empowerment, shaping the artist landscape of Milwaukee, one workshop at a time.
I also just make one-off pottery. A lot of my work isn't really in multiples because I do a lot of painting on top of everything. So they tend to be very one-off and they're more art objects at that point. So I really just let the clay speak to me and let it tell me what it wants to be. I listen to it, it doesn't listen to me. Oh, the challenges. It takes up a lot of space. And ceramics is very expensive. It is a very expensive hobby, so to say, and it's a very expensive job. But it's definitely worthwhile. I think my biggest challenge with ceramics is the clay itself. The clay does what it wants, and like I said before, it often tells me what it wants to be versus it listening to me, but that's kind of the beautiful process of it. I definitely have to listen to it. So I actually have my first solo show August 23rd. It's my very first one, and it's called Strange Touch, and it has to do with human connection and the kind of complex nature we have around touch, because a touch can be a beautiful thing. It can be an embrace, it can be warm, it can be comforting, but also be disconcerting and strange. And I'm trying to play with that in motifs. So I'm making big vessels and painting on top of it, also making flatware plates in the shape of vases and putting my illustrations on top to kind of express those different motifs and that strange kind of commonality and confusion that comes with touch.
Sierra Berry, a sculptor whose works serve as an impactful critique of American housing dynamics. Drawing from personal experiences and amusing observation, Sierra's sculptures transcend artistry to become powerful reflections of how complex our lives are.
I use a bunch of different materials when making my pieces. It's really important to me to have a material that speaks to the concept that I want to explain or illustrate or speak to. And so a lot of my materials will either be very craft-based, so woodworking, metal, stained glass, but also some maybe non-traditional materials and processes like dirt, turf, mixed media, found object. And so it's really, it's a really exciting place to be at as a sculptor because the world is my palette. I get to choose any material, any object to leverage its inherent conceptual meaning and use it for my own practice.
Sierra invites us to question the meaning of home and the boundaries that defined it. Through a blend of personal experiences, research, and observation, Sierra's sculpture serve as a tangible narrative, including viewers to ponder home and community.
Because I'm doing such big pieces, they're often large scale, it really becomes a lot of project management on the front end. So figuring out where I'm going to find my materials, how big it's going to be, where I'm going to build this. And then once I start creating is really when I feel the most excited. I think the first couple steps, you're like really trudging through it. Just everything always looks a little rough before it, has its shine in the studio. And so just sticking with it and keep on going, even with the most monotonous, boring tasks like sanding or tracing things. All of those stages are really important, and to find the joy in each of those can be hard sometimes when you're doing it for hours and hours, but once you start to, at least for me, once I start to feel like the vision is coming to life, I get emotional thinking about it, and even in practice, I'm starting to wrap up a few pieces now, and when you see what you have been thinking about in your head really come to life in physical form, pretty close to what I was anticipating it to look like and how I imagined it being. It's almost like a superpower, like knowing that you can envision something so clearly, and then with your own devices, with your own handiwork and your skills and your smarts, that you can create that for other people to enjoy.
Sierra's work explores the difference between idealism and reality.
To have the work be almost like another person that you're meeting or that you're engaging with, that it has a presence of its own. Something about having something handheld feels almost like that you would be in control, that I would be controlling this. And when I create a larger work, it feels like I'm giving up a little bit of that control, like I'm introducing this energy, this monolith of meaning into the world, and that having someone have to walk around it, to get up close to it, that it's at eye level, there's, maybe they're bending over, but that manipulation of the body and the viewer is something that I think larger work asks of the viewer.
Exploring Sierra's creative process, we discover her strong dedication to breaking down ideas about home life and society through her sculptures, one piece at a time.
Some themes that I'm working with in my practice are domesticity, ownership, property, this idea of the exchange of surveillance and viewing, who's looking at who and who holds that power. I'm also really inspired by maybe seemingly unrelated things like construction sites or DIY culture or gardening for those, for that matter. So I'm really pulling inspiration from a lot of maybe different, disparate sources that are contributing to the formal interpretations of the work. So this speaks to perhaps new construction, window building, house building, Tyvek. All of that kind of comes into play when looking for inspiration and when I find inspiration.
Wow, both of those artist processes are amazing, isn't it? From a lump of clay to stunning sculptures. It's incredible to watch, but we're not done yet. Next, we're heading over to the James May Gallery to chat with owner Kendra Bogren about Milwaukee's vibrant art scene.
Welcome to the James May Gallery, owned and curated by Kendra Bogren, located on Milwaukee's east side. Kendra's passion for art has transformed this space from its humble beginnings in Alagoma into a great space for artists and other like-minded individuals.
I was in academia for about 10 years, chasing the dream of being a full-time professor, and it never quite panned out. So I wanted to establish roots when I had kids. So we started the gallery up in Algoma, Wisconsin about 10 years ago now. And we ran it up there for 7 years, online for 3 years during COVID. And then this is our first year in this space. But it's named after my two boys, Everett James and Forrest May. So my kids inspire me and kind of drive me to be better every day.
Kendra's vision of artists ran and women-owned shines bright, featuring artists like Barbara Campbell-Thomas and Amy Sackstetter. Kendra's curations invite you to explore the beauty of contemporary art in Milwaukee's dynamic art scene. When she is not busy running around, she's typically curating a painting of her own.
We were just in this artsy fair that was all about emerging artists, which I felt really lucky to be a part of. I'm always championing artists at the beginning of their career, and hopefully they stay with us throughout their career. We all started somewhere, so I believe it's good to have that support. And we do have a few more established artists, and I believe that they support each other.
Exploring forms of creation here, the impact of the James May Gallery has on artists and the community is clear. Art isn't just expression, it's about connection. This gallery plays a central role in cultural growth, sparking creativity and conversation. It's a source of inspiration, lifting spirits, and bringing it all together.
I'd say try it on a small scale level where it's not as risky. And find some good mentors. I went through some great mentorship programs through NWTC, through the Green Bay Packers. There's a lot of programs out there for small business owners.
Kendra's love for art in the community is really inspiring. The James May Gallery is definitely a hotspot for creativity in Milwaukee. But wait, there's more. Next, we're hitting the dance floor with the amazing Dose over at Salute Studios. Let's see Dose in action and experience the power of dance as a form of creation.
Many may know the definition of dance is an act or instance of moving one's body rhythmically, usually to music. Meet Dose, a professional dancer who's known for his unique style in the world of dance.
The name Dose, it came about from my older brother. Shout out to my older brother. It was my birthday, February 2nd, and he decided that I needed a new nickname. So my actual name is Devon. It's given to me. He was telling me that it couldn't be whatever my nickname was in high school. So my nickname in high school was D-Nice, and he was saying, like, you know, there's a DJ or a legendary hip hop artist that's named by the name of D-Nice, and he was like, we need to switch that because you don't want to like get famous, or you don't want to be in the hip hop industry copying somebody else's name. So we're gonna go with something else. I'm influenced by everything. I mean, most and foremost, first I want to say Michael Jackson, of course, Chris Brown, the Lay Twins, Les Twins. There's so much. Even like Kidda, even though he's probably like younger than me, but just watching him, I'm influenced by all types of dancers. So everybody, you know, even from the tap dancers, you know, like Sammy Davis Jr., George Davis, everybody. It's okay to not think, and I think in situations with creativity, people always have a thought process of what they want to do, how they want to do it, and dancing is just the body, you know, like whatever the body tells you to do, just do it. So my creative process is a lot of times where I'm just playing music in the house, or if I'm here at the studio, I just throw music on and just freestyle myself and just let my body do whatever, and whatever comes to mind or whatever is new as far as body movement, I just kind of just keep that. We do some Summerfest shows, usually around Summerfest every time. So the US Cellular and the amphitheater are one of my favorite stages to like just be on. I just love how spacious the stage are. We did Wisconsin Fest with T-Pain our first year. He do it every year now, but I think it was 2022, 2021. That was like the first year he did it, and he had us on there. And right after the performance, he's like, man, you cold. And to hear that from T-Pain, somebody that you like look up to, is just like, you could ask for nothing better than that. So that was probably one of my favorite moments as far as performer.
Theatrical dance is known for having more choreography, costumes, and planning for a more professional feel. Dose also has experience in starring in plays.
One day, my friend by the name of Christopher Gilbert, he said that they were doing auditions for Black Nativity, which is like a really big play out in Milwaukee. And he said they needed dancers. So at first it was just for me to just dance. I would just go in there to just be the ensemble of a dancer, and they saw that I could also act and dance and do other stuff, so they put me into a part, and I was a shepherd is what they would call it, you know, a part of the play. And just getting into like the character and everything, it really boosts a lot as far as dance skills, because dance and acting plays in the same lane as far as just expression with facial expressions and stuff like that, and with body movement. So it came about where I was just kind of just chilling, and he hit me up and he told me to do the auditions, and I got the part. It's fun in a way, but it's also very challenging. I think that people try to make it seem like, oh, like it looks like he's having fun. Well, I am, but it's a lot of hard work that comes with that. And acting is definitely one of those things where it pushes you. You know, it's like you can't be a different character in your own comfort zone. You have to be out your comfort zone at all times doing this stuff. So it's a process, but I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot, and I'm loving it, and just to see where it goes from here.
Creation comes in many forms, and dance gives individuals the opportunity to express themselves through movement instead of words.
It's not just about choreography. It's not just about learning to dance from a different style or a different dancer. It's just that camaraderie of dancers, that home feel that you get, like everybody in this circle, everybody in the space is here as one. We all moving as one unit when we're here, and it's fun, you know. You get to meet new people, meet new dancers, meet new faces, and a lot of these people come from different spaces. A lot of people are not from Milwaukee. They come from Ohio, Chicago, Cali, anywhere, you know. So it's fun to get that space to let people see that, you know, Milwaukee has a space for dancers as well, and it's not just in one spot.
Wow, what a journey of exploring different forms of creation, from clay to dirt to canvas to dance to music. These artists have shown us that creativity has no limits. Thanks for joining us on Forms of Creation. Keep creating and embracing the beauty of art. We'll see you next time.